This NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series 2026 Drivers Changes edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 to get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code RACESGPN.
Drivers, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and Cody, I really do need to get used to saying O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. That's going to be a tongue twister. It may take me all year to get used to that.
Yeah, it got you already, tripped you up on the first time you're saying it for the new year, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. And I supported O'Reilly the other day. Needed a new battery for the truck. Drove on down there and got a new battery. So, yeah, shout out to them for taking over the title sponsorship. Xfinity sticking around. They're still a premier partner of the Cup Series, and you're going to see them plenty and still in the sport and advertising, just not the title sponsor of this series anymore. And O'Reilly picks up the slack, and we're happy to see him here.
I may just refer to it as the O'Reilly series now. There's just, O'Reilly Auto Parts just seems kind of clunky. I love them. Like you said, there's one close to my house and I use them all the time, but it's hard to say O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Yeah, and I think it'll just be the O'Reilly. I mean, soon we'll just be calling it the O'Reilly. Like we called it Xfinity. Maybe it might not even be the O'Reilly. It might just be O'Reilly. Like, hey, did you see what happened in O'Reilly race last week? Like, I think that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, welcome to O'Reilly. We'll try our hardest not to say Xfinity a million times this year.
Hey, they got to, listen, they must know that it's going to happen a few times over, so they're probably ready for it. Speaking of being ready for it, JDK is ready for the show already. Afternoon, fellas. Afternoon, JDK.
Okay.
OG Joe, O'Reilly Best Auto Parts Store. Happy New Year. Let's go, Canes.
Oh, Canes are playing. Okay. That's tonight, right? Yeah.
It's tonight.
But college football is so weird. We're playing Thursday and Friday. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We got Thursday night football. I'll take it. So, yeah.
Indeed, we do. Experts Suck wants to. The question on everybody's mind: can NASCAR get started already? It's almost
Thursday,
here, buddy.
38 days till the Daytona 500, which means 24 days until the clash at Bowman Gray, which we have some news about. Some exciting news in a minute here, Rod, that we'll get to. But yeah, shout out to the Experts Suck. Make sure you check out their stuff. I think as soon as we're done here, pretty much they're going to be jumping live on their YouTube talking about their playoff picks. We'll see. I've been informed that I'm one of the experts they've been fading, I guess. So
good.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's good because it makes me an expert, or if it's not good because I don't like my picks.
I think they do it regardless of the picks, whether they like them or not.
I don't think it's targeted on me personally, but
if it is, that's fine.
He did say that I'm lumped in the data of experts, so I'll take it.
Good. See, and they did well to leave me out of there because I'm certainly not an expert. So we're good with that. Exciting news to get to in just a second, but I have exciting news for you because if you like this show, you will like all the other shows that live in the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And if you want access to all of those and all of the free picks and all of the free podcasts in one convenient place, you find it on the SGPN app. How do you get it? Well, you just download the app for free in whatever store you have out, whatever app store you got. Search it, SGPN. It appears. Download. Have yourself a good old time catching up on all the sports that are out there as well. Speaking of getting caught up, Bo Joe wants to know, did I pick Jimmy Johnson? Of course. Gola Joy number 6.
Yeah.
Gola Joy number 6.
We'll get to it, Rod. Oh, Rod hasn't even seen the news. Oh, I love it. Oh, yes.
And then, of course, Iceberg saying, thanks, Cody. Yes, you are on that app. So,
well, Rod, do you have the breaking news sound effect?
Go for it.
Breaking news straight out of the news desk. Brad Keselowski has one job right now, Rod. That is to be ready for the Daytona 500. That means he will not be racing in the clash at Bowman Gray. Instead, they have called up Corey LaJoie. He's going to be in the number 6 car racing for Roush Fenway Keselowski, filling in for Brad Keselowski. If you've not been following the offseason news, Brad broke his leg in a skiing incident, I do believe it was. So he should be good for Daytona. But you'd imagine, I mean, if they're already making a replacement, yeah, maybe Corey's on standby for that. Maybe he ends up jumping in that car for the 500. We'll see. But, after my long thing about Corey not liking racing yesterday, good to see him back, Rod. So it might be the last time we see him. I don't know. But I'm still the warmth in my heart quickly fluttered back in when I saw that LaJoie was going to be driving. So love to see it. Obviously, he still has built a good relationship, right, and is a great person to fill in and sub in for a race like that. Not much for expectations for him in that type of race, but it'll be good to see him in the car nonetheless.
My favorite part of the whole thing is that I've never seen somebody moonwalk so good other than Michael Jackson on just backtracking for Corey LaJoie, blah, blah, blah. Now Corey LaJoie.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to yesterday's show, go back and listen to me bitch about how Corey doesn't like racing. But
listen, look, we knew.
Maybe he heard that. He called RFK. He said, listen,
yeah,
Keselowski's not racing that fucking race. He needs to be good for Daytona. Put me in, coach. And they listened. So I think really it boils down to my fault that Corey LaJoie is going to be driving this car. So I'll take the credit.
It's funny because I was about to blame you too. I was about to say they listened to the show yesterday and Corey LaJoie was like, my one fan that is out there speaking for me every single week has left. I need to get him back. So
do you think we can get restrictor plates at Bowman Gray, Rod? Because I'd really like that. I don't know that they'd work too well at Bowman Gray since it's the shortest track on the circuit. But
could you hear it?
LaJoie would do better if they did.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you hear it? Could you hear it now? Could you hear all the limiters hitting every single straightaway? That would be insane.
Oh, hey, it might be fun. Who knows? We could have come up with a great idea there, Bojo.
Could be fun. All right, so there's that piece of news, and we have even better news because Cody.
Yes.
Next week.
Well, yeah. So we have 2 more pieces of news. I thought the better news was something else, but this is good news. So yes, NASCAR has an announcement to make, Rod, on Monday. The long-awaited announcement. Drum roll. They're going to finally announce the new championship format. So they said new, so that means it's not going to be what it was. So championship format will be announced Monday afternoon. It'll be on the NASCAR channel, which if you don't know, that's a free channel that's out there. It's on like Tubi, might even be on YouTube, some other places. It's called the NASCAR channel. They have like shows on there, and then they show old races and stuff like that. But I'm sure if you just go to your smart TV or smart device, plug in the NASCAR channel, and it'll pop up where you can get it from. But that's where the announcement will be. 3:30 Eastern time on Monday is when they'll announce the format. And then we, Rod, around the 5 o'clock Eastern time frame, we'll be live here, and we're going to do our reaction show. We'll move one of the shows up to Monday because we have that flexibility in the off season. And we'll jump on and react to how we think that what our thoughts are on this new championship format, whatever it may be, and how we think it'll affect things. If it's the same for all 3 series, if it's going to be different across the series, and we'll dive into all that and everything. So, we're super looking forward to that. That's kind of been the big news that we've been just waiting to drop. And finally, we got to wait 4 more days for it, unfortunately. Keep an eye on Jordan Bianchi. I'm sure that it'll leak before then. But announcement coming on Monday. So looking forward to that.
I don't want to be disappointed, Cody. I feel like this is one of those.
What would be disappointing though? What format would be disappointing?
I don't know. I feel like maybe just a full season points.
36
total.
would be the most disappointing, I think. But I don't know that I would be overly disappointed. Like I would. That's not the format that I think we should do, and I wouldn't choose that one. But I don't know that I would be disappointed. I think we're going to be happy because it's changing, and I don't know now. Knock on wood here. Now, if anybody could fuck this up, it's probably NASCAR.
Well, I don't know that. I was about to say, they could come back and just say, "Just kidding, we're keeping everything the same because we couldn't come up with a better solution."
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But they did specify new when they put out the tweet. So
hey, listen, new Coke was the same as old Coke. They just slapped a new label on it, and people thought it tasted different. They put it right back. So,
but do you have a prediction? What do you think that the format will be, Rob?
I feel like they expand the championship to 4 races. I feel like that is the better solution to all of it instead of having it just the one race. Even if they do 3, like I don't even care if they do 3. If they do a best of 3 or like
it'll be like a 3-3-4.
Yeah.
Or a 4-3-3. Probably 3-3-4 would make most sense of those.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're going back to the chase. I think it's going to be 10 races. We'll see how they reset the points, I guess. But I think it'll be 10 races. Top 10 in points get in, plus 2 wild cards. The next best 2 drivers with the most wins. I would imagine whoever's higher in the points, if you're tied with wins, gets those 2 spots. I think and it'll just be the 10 races like we had when we went to the original chase format. That's my prediction. But we will find out for sure on Monday, and then we'll be live here to react to it on Monday afternoon.
Screw it, Cody. Let's just do a tournament style bracket. Let's do a playoffs like straight up 1-on-1. 1v1.
I've seen actually. I feel like it's my buddy Dirk maybe that's proposed this, but I've seen that where he said, "Let's just do it like playoffs, where it's like they do at the tournament, and the 1 seed's going against the 16 seed, and whichever finishes better, they advance the next week." So it'd be like a King of the Hill style inside of a race, which has been exciting for the in-race tournament. I don't know about crowning a champion that way, but it's an interesting thought for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And obviously we'll break down everything we think about it on Monday and get the live reactions to it when it's fresh on our list. But yes, Cody, I think I saved the absolute best for absolute last because this guy, not only can I not get enough to see him on the track, but he's going to be on the track more this year.
He just keeps making Rod happier and happier. We learned yesterday, of course, that Jimmy Johnson locked into the Daytona 500 with that, I don't remember what open exemption or whatever. So, we had that news yesterday, and then they turn around today because that wasn't enough for us. Jimmy Johnson is going to be driving for Tricon Racing in the Truck Series. It'll only be, Rod, his second career Craftsman Truck Series start. Has not made one since 2008, but he's going to run the San Diego street course out there. Of course, he's from El Cajon, California, I believe is where he's from. So he's from that area. He's already said he's going to be running in the Cup race. Now we see he's announcing a truck race, not any truck. He's not just jumping in a truck. He's jumping in one of the best trucks, that number 1 truck for Tricon. We know that's a really good truck. This also opens it up. We weren't sure that NASCAR would allow drivers to run multiple series because they haven't in the past. Places like when we went to Chicago, you couldn't run trucks or Xfinity if you're going to run Cup. But if Jimmy's going to be running both, unless it's some type of full-time thing where they're not going to let full-time guys, but that'd be weird, I think, because then you could have an SVG type come in and really steal the show. But so that opens up, does SVG run the truck in Cup Xfinity, or God damn it, Rod. Does SVG run the truck in O'Reilly series? I just completely lost everything, but just dominate the whole weekend or whatever. But Jimmy is officially in the Tricon truck. Obviously, they have the Toyota partnership and deal there, so it'll be great to see him out there running in California, home track, home area. I guess not home track. Well, maybe it is his home track now. Auto Club's gone, but home area for Jimmy Johnson. So another reason for Rod to make sure he gets out to San Diego this year.
Damn straight. If I hadn't already booked my flight, I'm booking my flight now. In fact, I'll probably just run out there for sure. Boji Joe saying, Jimmy Johnson, Rod, are you contractually obligated to mention him on every show? Just every show where he makes news. So I love him to death. And then just when you thought baby boomers would never go away, we get Jimmy Johnson. Jesus, man. How old do you think he is? I'm as old as Jimmy Johnson.
I was going to say, I don't think he's that much older than a Denny Hamlin. That's what's so crazy about sports is you look at guys like that and it's like, oh, you think of Jimmy Johnson as like this really old guy, but yes, we got 7 championships out of him. Yes, he went and had the IndyCar thing after that. Yes, he's done all these things, but he's only 50 years old. I mean, Mark Martin was still running full time at this age. Like, it's not, he's only, I guess he's 5-6 years older than Denny Hamlin is. So it is a little bit older, but he's not that old. So it'll be good to see him. You know, Rowdy Nation was talking about, oh, we can bet on him in that race. I don't know if I'd go that far. It is a good truck. So he's not just jumping in, you know, a legacy truck there, I guess, if you want. But I don't know that we're going to be betting on him in that. Well, okay. I don't know that I'll be betting on him in that race, I'll say. But
I will.
But yeah,
bring his name up.
Good to get lots of Jimmy Johnson this year, Rod, which should make everybody happy.
It makes me immensely happy already, so I'm ready to go for it. All right, let's talk through some O'Reilly Auto Parts Series drivers. I know that the Truck Series waited until we finished. Thank you. That they waited until we were finished to make that big announcement, but we're getting into O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. We'll do that, but I first want to tell you about our friends over at Kalshi. We've just partnered up with Kalshi, a real money prediction market legal in all 50 states. In all 50 states, you can trade on tons of markets in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and so much more. Plus, you can even trade props like first TDs. And besides sports, they got tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, you can even trade on the weather. We talked about whether alien life was out there the other day, too. You can trade on that. You can trade on anything with Kalshi. Looking right now, though, we're talking about that Ole Miss and Florida game. If you think that Miami will walk away the winner, go Canes, you can put your money where your mouth is. 61 cents on the yes, 40 on the no. $10 investment will return you 17 if the Canes end up coming through for you as well. New Kalshi customers can get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog's got you covered this holiday season with Underdog Unwrapped. You'll unwrap tons of promos throughout the holiday season. I tell you, it's a big NFL weekend. The playoffs are here. We are all getting ready for what's to come. And of course, if you believe in the likes of Kyron Williams in this Rams versus Carolina game, Kyron Williams has 65.5 rushing yards as his projection. You think Kyron Williams is going to run wild? Well, you can take the higher than on that one. He has been higher than this in 5 of his last 6 games. So if you like that trend and you want it to continue, then take Kyron Williams higher than 65.5 rushing yards on Underdog Fantasy. And Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code RACE, SGPN. Good to know that my speech impediment has gone into the realm of spelling as well. Not only can I not say the sponsor of the series, but I can't spell our sponsors.
It happens. It's okay. Boji Joe doesn't know how to spell Jimmy Johnson's name either. I don't want to throw him under a bus, but it is IE there, buddy.
IE.
Says he has alien DNA. Actually, they tested him, Rod. I don't know if you saw this news. They did test Jimmy Johnson. Goat DNA detected, no alien DNA. So,
Yep. In fact, every time he opens up to do a interview now, he's like, bah! Oh, wait, is that what it goes? No, it's a sheep. I don't know. I got nothing. It's the off season, kids. This is what you get. All right. Let's talk about the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Only 38 days until the Daytona 500, guys. Just stick with us.
How many more sheep noises can Rod make before the season begins? Good Lord. All right. So the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. There are some new faces and new names. The series champ is no longer going to be a full-time driver. The reigning series champ Connor Zilisch will not be returning full time. He will, of course.
Rod, wait a minute. Who won the championship?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jesse Love.
Xfinity
Jesus
last
Christ.
year.
You see
it
what
felt
happens?
like Connor Zilisch because of the season he had, but it was not Connor Zilisch.
Yeah, no, it was not Connor. Jesse Love. So Jesse Love is returning. However, the dominant driver on the season will not be returning. See, this is what happens when you get championship formats that are all over wonky, all over the place, right? But yeah, so it will be a Connor Zilisch-less field, which opens up the realm to a bunch of other drivers that have the potential to claim the wins, and of course Jesse Love returning as the ultimate champion in the sport. But we are going to take a look driver by driver, ride by ride, as to who's going to be in the series. We'll set the field for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. The number 0, Cody, is the very first, the 00, I should say. 00 comes before 0. If there's any
age-long argument, does 00 come before 0? Does 0 come before 00? Who knows? We may never know. According to J-Ski, 00 comes first. So
00 comes first. Yep. 00 still Sheldon Creed, still that Haas Factory Chevy. Now Chevy. It is the Haas Factory Ford last year, but Haas Factory Chevy. Sheldon Creed's in it. We talked a little bit about it when we were talking about the driver changes earlier, the team changes, the big changes as far as Haas is concerned. Does this give Sheldon a leg up? Does this give the team a leg up? I know Chevy's got a little bit deeper pockets and willing to do things, but now he's in a bigger pool.
Yeah, I guess that's the interesting part, right? That's the big change. Obviously, the driver, everything else is staying the same. They're not the top Ford team anymore that like they were before. So where they were the number one focus of Ford, they're not going to be the number one focus of Chevrolet. They might not even be the number 2 focus of Chevrolet. They really shouldn't be. So, but do they get more information from JRM and RCR that they weren't previously getting? Essentially all the top teams now, other than JGR being the big outlier with Toyota, all the top teams are Chevrolet. So it'll be interesting to see, I guess, how that affects them. But I think it'll probably be a similar season for Creed of he'll finish second place 45 times and maybe he'll get that first win, but I don't know that I would bet on it at this point. I'll probably bet on it at some point, but he's got to get his first win this year, right, Rod? I mean, he's not Daniel Hemrick. Like, he won in the Truck Series. He was really good in the Truck Series. He knows how to win. How does he not have a win yet? Oh my God.
There are just people in life that doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes you just can't punch that ceiling and you can't get it through.
It's like Josh Allen, really, really good quarterback. He's a great quarterback, but he just can't win in the playoffs. He'll get bounced again this week. And some people just can't do it, Rod.
Yep. No, listen, Sheldon, you know that you are our favorite Canadian driver that's not actually from Canada, but is from California. And we do nothing but bang the drum for you each and every week. So if any show out there wants to see you win as much as ours, I would like to be on that show because I feel like we need to be around Sheldon Creed truthers.
It'll be a 00 party whenever he does win. But yeah, looking forward to it. He's a guy we'll talk about a lot throughout the season. With a guy like Connor Zilisch gone, it is going to open up, much like we talked about with Corey Heim being out of the Truck Series. Yes, he's going to be back for some races, and SVG, Ross Chastain, all those guys are going to come down for some races. But in a general sense, it'll open up maybe some other wins for guys like Custer. And I think we'll see him find victory lane this year for the first time.
I would love nothing more. We'll throw a giant party when it happens. All right, so we'll move up to the 0 car, the SS Green Light Chevy. It's going to be split between Alex LeBay and Garrett Smithley. LeBay will be driving it for some of these road courses for the first 5 road courses, actually, in 2026. So just a split car between those two. And, again, LeBay is somebody that we definitely look at a lot on these road courses for top 5 finishes. So that will continue. That trend, I'm sure, will continue this year.
Yeah, obviously, so last year in the Xfinity Series, it was, right? We got on ESPN Bet the top 10s. That's obviously changed over to the score now, so I'm hoping that they'll just keep going with what they had going. Hopefully the name, everything else from what I've seen seems to be about the same on the app. So I'm hoping that they'll continue to offer those and maybe some other people will pick up on it. Books, pretty pleased, but definitely a top 10 guy, possibly a top 5 guy over on the road courses, and a guy that you'll look at for DFS when it comes to road courses as well. outside of that, we probably won't talk much about the Zero car, but it'll have its opportunities.
Yeah, and again, just when Alex LeBay's in there, make sure that you understand that you'll probably hear his name. Garrett Smithley, probably some DFS hype out there just a little bit because, he's one of those guys.
We talked a lot about him last year.
We did.
Actually, now that I think about it. So, yeah, the Zero car really could be in play just about every week for DFS because Smithley is a very, very good DFS punt, low price option that has a little bit of return just because he's been around a long time and he's a decent driver, right? So he gets decent results for what you're expecting for the price. So, yeah, this is actually a car that will come up pretty often for us.
Yes, it will. A car that's going to come up for us a lot this season is the one car that is the Junior Motorsports Chevy. Carson Kvapil obviously piloted that all full season last year. Unfortunately, he didn't secure the ride full-time this year. It's such a confusing thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, I don't understand.
It makes no sense because so Junior Motorsports has put together the full season for Kvapil, but he's not going to run the one car all season. Some of the races are going to be in the 88. Zilisch is going to come run the one. Now, the only thing I can think of is one of the partners wants Connor Zilisch. That's going to always be on the one car, which isn't going to be the case either because Arby's is going to be on there. He's going to have different sponsors. So why not just put Zilisch in the 88 and let Kvapil stay in the one? I don't exactly know. But it is good to see that they figured it out for JRM. And maybe that was the thing. They'd already sold some of those rides, I think. And then Kvapil goes out, gets the top 4 in the championship. He's in the championship race. And that maybe brought through the rest of the funding or whatever. And maybe Dale helped out on that, I think, a little bit possibly as well. But, yeah, so interesting that he'll be splitting between 2 JRM rides. But he's going to be full-time for JRM. Most of the time in the one car, not always in the one car.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me, that whole shenanigan thing. But, I mean, look, as long as you're behind the car full-time, I guess you got a good one. But what I love
Points follow the driver, not the car. So that's – I mean, they do follow the car in the other part, and maybe that's part of why you put Zilisch in. I don't know. Again, doesn't matter, but he'll still be racing for a championship, whatever the format is.
I do love that some of the new sponsors on this are Champion Irrigation Products, Wide Protein Snacks. Oh yeah, and then Arby's obviously, and Campgrounds of America. But also being new in this team is the crew chief as well. We've got Rodney Childers in as crew chief.
Has he been good? Has he ever done anything in his career?
Never once. This will be an untested crew chief that we'll get to see with a young driver.
Yeah, this is so. Rodney Childers, obviously, Kevin Harvick retires. He goes over to Spire. That quickly doesn't work out. You're putting him, if you don't know, these O'Reilly cars are old Cup Series cars, basically. So he used to work on these cars back in the day. There's a lot more room to be creative, shall we, on these cars. That's something that Rodney's very good at is getting creative with how he uses the cars. So, I'd expect some innovation, as Dale Jr. likes to call it, in the one car this season, Rod. It should be a good year for Kvapil. Been a guy we've talked about a lot. He's a young up-and-coming guy. We've known his dad, Travis, if you've been around the Cup Series for a long time, drove the 77 car. Some other cars back in the day. Good young talent. And, rookie season was good. Makes the championship 4, obviously. That's pretty good run. But didn't quite get to victory lane. But I think we're going to see real positive step up from Kvapil this year.
I do as well. Let's move our focus onto Ryan Ellis, who will now be piloting the 02 Young's Motorsports Chevy, making the move full-time to Young's Motorsports. Ryan Ellis, one of the guys that we really brought up a lot in DFS because he was always somebody who was about a mid-pack driver, but he would start and qualify toward the rear of the field and always move his way up. And I don't know, this is not necessarily a lateral move. It's just a move, right? And I think that may be where we see Ryan Ellis again. Talented driver, just not one that we're going to be chasing after for betting purposes quite a bit this year.
Yeah, there's just not going to be opportunities to bet on him, really. But DFS-wise, again, the O'Reilly series is really good about having just veteran guys, been around a long time, but making it work, know how to get these cars to the end. A guy like this, a lot of these guys, these types of guys have clauses in their contract, damage clauses, right, where they have to pay if their car does get torn up. It's amazing how Chris Wright keeps a job. But but they're good at protecting their cars and getting to the end, right? And that's huge in DFS. So Ryan Ellis will definitely be a guy we'll talk about in DFS throughout the season. Outside of that, probably not going to touch on him much.
Nope, probably not. But just, look for the 02 car, but don't mistake it for the 2 car of Jesse Love, the reigning. Well, no, he's not a reigning O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion. He's a reigning Xfinity Series champion. He's a reigning series champion. So Jesse Love back in the 2. I mean, look, we saw last season, and of course we've been talking about Jesse Love since he jumped onto the scene in the lower series, and that's not going to stop. He's going to just continue to get better. I'm surprised, for one, that somebody didn't snatch him up for some kind of Cup Series opportunity. I know there wasn't much jump up.
Wasn't much available for rides.
I don't know. I could think of a 77 car that could use a new,
Well, when Carson gets the call for the 48, maybe Jesse jumps into the 77. But
thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us today on the show. This is it. No, I'm just kidding.
This is one of those situations where, you go out and win the championship. Okay, great. Do you have the championship hangover, or do you build on that? And I think we're going to see Jesse build on this. I think we're about to see a really good season from Jesse. His best buddy, Connor Zilisch, has slid up into the Cup Series. He'll be back for some races, but out of Jesse's way now. And I think that we're going to continue to see a climb from Jesse Love. He's a very, very good driver. Been great on the super speedways. Obviously, that's been well documented. But he's good week in and week out, and I think we'll just continue to see the progress of him as he gets into a 3rd season now, a champion of the sport, and I think he'll be a guy that's in the mix to win the championship again.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any more analysis that we need to heap on him that you haven't heard from other places, including this show, over the course of his career. So, yep, definitely high on Jesse Love in the 2. The number 5 car will be a full-time car this year for Hettinger Racing, and that's I guess there's a giant question mark as to who's going to drive that car or what that car is going to look like, but there will be a 5 car on the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series roster this year.
Yeah, so this is going to be one of the Ford cars. So again, as we get through this, we'll continue to talk about it, but a lot of the Ford teams jumped ship and went over to Chevrolet, SHR, or Haas, I guess now, being the big team. The Sieg brothers, they jumped over to Chevrolet. Viking Motorsports jumped over to Chevrolet. A&M Racing, I believe, went to Chevrolet as well. So everybody mass exited from Ford. This Hettinger Racing has been around in the ARCA series and other types of racing. I think they run in Cars Tour and stuff like that as well. But they're going to move up and be like one of the flagship Ford cars. But it's getting real close to the season. We don't know who's going to be driving. So that's kind of interesting. It is going to be a full-time car. Will it have a full-time driver? Again, Nick Sanchez, we talked about him yesterday with some of those open truck rides. He's sitting out there. Maybe he can get a deal done for something like this. But it's going to be interesting to see because really this turns into the flagship Ford team. So how much support is Ford? I mean, I would say it looks to be that Ford is not putting a lot of support into the O'Reilly series based on what we've kind of seen here. But will they put some behind this team, and how do they, jumping into your first year in the O'Reilly series, how's that going to look? Who the driver is? There's a lot. We don't really know anything, I guess, Rod.
I'm telling you, it's just a shame that Toyota has such a hold on Corey Heim, because this would be a perfect opportunity for a Corey Heim to just kind of jump into this series, race the car better than it probably deserves to be raced, make a name for not only that team,
but it's Ford.
Well, and I understand that. Well, I'm saying it's a shame that Toyota has a hole in it, because I would love for
I got you.
Corey Heim to have the opportunity to launch this kind of a team, right? It feels like a good opportunity for somebody to be able to grab, because where's he driving next year? You know what I'm saying? Toyota's wasting him. He should jump ship to Ford.
They really are wasting. It's an absolute shame what Toyota is doing with, or what I guess more specifically, I think Gibbs is to blame, Ty mostly, but for just wasting Corey Heim currently. But that's a whole nother story. But we'll see. We'll see what this Ford team ends up doing. Corey LaJoie still out there. I think there's only 14 fans at these O'Reilly races, so probably not enough for him to want to do it, I guess. But he is a Ford guy currently, so who knows?
That's true. Actually, he is a Ford guy now. So, he's whatever hat they put on him at the time. That's
whoever's calling at the time, but whatever.
Exactly. All right, we got more drivers to get to on the other side of this break, but let me tell you first about our friends over at Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you are getting the absolute best prices out there. We talked a little bit about that game that's going on today. Miami, number 10, going up against Ole Miss, but Miami is favored by 3.5 points on Novig. And guess what? You're getting plus 110 for Miami to cover a 3.5 point spread. Woo. And if you like Ole Miss, how about plus 3.5 at minus 115? But outstanding prices for you over there on Novig. Go download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig promo code SGPN. How about Rhythm? They've been crushing NFL this season, especially on props. They've been really good at identifying when to fade players and take those unders. College basketball up and running, and with 300 plus schools, Rhythm has predictions for every single game, every single night. Pairs nicely with the daily TCE shows with Matt, Colby, and Noah. Every game, you are prepared. Super easy to sign up. You can run predictions off the house model or make your own and play with those sliders. With so many sports in the holidays, makes it easy to get an elite prediction so that I can focus on anything other than trying to figure out where I'm going to put all of my money on my props. Speaking of that, look, I've been hammering this all week long, and I'm going to continue to hammer it because I believe in Brian Robinson's ability to get at least 14 rushing yards, and so does Rhythm. They are telling us that it is going to happen at minus 114. That is the prediction. I'm going to go with it. All I see in the trend section is a lot of green and one little red thing that happened last week, and I'm not even going to hold that against him. So give me Brian Robinson over 13.5 rushing yards, just like Rhythm predicts. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. I tell you, Cody, I'm going to be the good dad this weekend, and I will be attending my daughter's both of my daughters' honor music concerts on Saturday, which therefore means I will be recording. I will be taping the San Francisco 49ers playoff game. So
text Rod on Saturday. Noted.
Do not spoil it for me. My phone will probably just be off at that point because I am not going to.
My father-in-law will do this. He'll text me. He'll be like, "Traveling Saturday. Do not text me during the Husker game."
It's a thing, man.
And he's so good. He will avoid all spoil. I can't. I'm like, I just too glued to my phone, I guess. But I immediately know what happens everywhere in the world at all times.
I have eliminated that for myself because I got so enthralled in doing that, and it's a hard way to live for me because I'm just constantly like, oh my god, I gotta know.
And I can't stand. Not like I would rather follow the score along on the, like I'd be sitting in the concert just like looking at the score over avoiding what's going on just because I can't stand knowing that it's happening and knowing that I could know if I just look down at my phone I can't do it. I have a lot of respect for you for being able to pull that off, Rod.
I do it almost all the time. So all right, let's continue down the road. The 07 SS Greenlight Chevy. Josh Balicki. All right, let's move on to the number side.
Hey, DFS, another good DFS guy. He's one of those guys that's good. And Mando Deodorant, that's a cool sponsor. So there you go. On to the number 7 car.
Yeah, no, and listen, Josh, we love you. We know that you are definitely a contributing member of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, and we respect that of you. But for betting purposes, we can't really bring you up. Week to week.
It's good to see guys like this stick around and continue to. He's made a career out of being a race car driver, and that's the American dream right there, Rod. So shout out to him, and he'll be decent DFS play any given week. He's good everywhere. Again, one of those veterans that gets the car to the end, and usually pays off a little more than what they cost in DFS. So there you have it.
I would not turn down a ride along with him at all. I would not turn down a ride along with the next driver either, and that is Justin Allgaier in that beautiful number 7 Junior Motorsports Chevy. I mean, look, it's Justin Allgaier. Every year it's the same, right? He's going to contend for wins. He's going to contend for a championship. He's just going to be the guy that you're going to talk about. And we're not ever going to stop talking about him all season long because he's in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best. He's been one of the best for a while. Going to continue to be one of the best. possibly the championship favorite when the odds do come out. I think he'll be one of the top guys, if not the top guy, should be. And he's going to be a guy we talk about just about week in and week out. I don't really know that we need to go farther into it because if you've paid any attention, you know who Justin Allgaier is. Andrew checking in says he's still calling it the Xfinity Series. Go ahead and deposit your money into the swear jar there, Andrew. It is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Get it right, brother.
Or he could just, be completely against the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and just call it Xfinity because he's.
I still call it the Busch Series, Ron.
Who doesn't call it the Busch Series anymore, right? That's old school. All right. Another Junior Motorsports Chevy, which doesn't need a whole lot of hashtag analysis, and that is the number 8, Sammy Smith, back in that one again. Unfortunately, we didn't get what we wanted out of Sammy Smith last year. Kind of felt like it was the last car in the JRM stable with big names like Allgaier, with Zilisch sucking up all the air.
Guess what it's going to be this year, Rod?
Same thing.
The last car in the JRM stable. I mean, just what it is, right? Sammy's a good driver and we'll have opportunities to bet on him. Certainly, shorter, flatter tracks. You get the home angle at Iowa. He's from right down the road there. That's cool. He'll have his opportunities to bet on him here and there. Not going to be a Justin Allgaier or a Connor Zilisch or even a Carson Kvapil, honestly. But he'll have good races. We'll have opportunities to pick our spots and bet on him, and he'll put together a solid season. And yeah, that's what you got.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll talk about him when we need to talk about him, I'm sure. I felt like we were going to talk about him a lot more last year, but we didn't end up talking about him because with guys like this coming up right now, this is the guy we'll probably spend a lot of time talking about instead of Sammy Smith, and that is going to be Corey Day, baby, making a full-time run in that 17 car, the anointed one, Kyle Larson's hand-picked successor to be the greatest race car driver in the world. Look, we did see him in the 17 in 11 races last season. He had 2 top 10s, 1 top 5, average finish of 15.9 in that span, but he did get a 4th in Las Vegas, which was his best finish all season. Top 10 at Gateway, which was an impressive run for him as well. And I mean, we saw him in the Truck Series here and there as well. Corey Day, obviously one to watch, and Cody, like you said, one we're going to be talking about quite a bit next year as well.
Yeah, it's great to see Kyle Larson Jr. get a full-time ride, Rod. No,
Hendrick Motorsports, yeah.
Look for Hendrick Motorsports to expand back into being a full-time O'Reilly team. I almost did it. Into being a full-time O'Reilly team, into being a full-time Nationwide team, Rod. I'm just going to call it the Nationwide Series. Everybody forgets that there was the Nationwide Series for a couple of years, but anyways, for them to expand back into a full-time team, that says something, right? And it's mostly going to be HendrickCars.com on that thing. So it's not like he's bringing a ton of other sponsorship money. Like, again, yes, that's good for the business, and the business pot pays into the other pot. It's not just Rick directly paying for it, but it is in a way, right? But for Rick to have that belief in you, for Kyle to have the belief he has in him, this kid is talented, and he is the next Kyle Larson type coming up to the sprint cars. He's been tearing it up there, and now he gets his big shot for Rick Hendrick with his name on the side of the car, driving in the Xfinity Series. Another powerful Chevy team, right? Where did we list Haas at earlier? Drop them down one because Hendrick's going to go above them because that's how it works. Essentially another JRM car, right? I think most of the stuff's going to come out of that shop. They're already partners and everything. But, yeah, there's big expectations on this guy. We'll see how it translates. I don't know. I'm not ready to crown him yet, Rod. If you want to crown him. Shout out Denny Green. But we'll see. I think he's going to have a successful season. It's a good car. He's a good driver. I don't think it's going to be Connor Zilisch type season. I
think he'll be who we think he'll be, and that'll be that.
He is who we thought he is. If you want to crown his ass, crown him.
No, I am. Look, I'm excited because, like we said, and we were talking about in the Truck Series the last couple of days, that it's super competitive in the Truck Series with everybody that's going on down there. I feel like this is going to be, especially with Connor Zilisch now not running full time, a far more competitive O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and I'm more excited about this season than I was last season.
Yeah, I think so, because I think you're not going to have that dominant force at the top, which is kind of nice. And maybe that's part of why we like the Truck Series more. Granted, there's more drivers coming back into that series that are really good too. But, oops, we both did it at the same time. Does he get pounded by the books? I don't think he will. He doesn't have a huge name. Yes, it's a Hendrick car, but I'd love to tell you what the odds are for him to win the championship, but we don't have those odds yet, Rod. I'll be interested to see where he kind of falls in line, because I don't think he should be a favorite. I think he should be near the top, right? Top 10. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. All right, but he's got to contend with the likes of the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, and that begins with the number 18 in William Sawalich, somebody that in the Truck Series garnered no respect from Cody, but in the the Xfinity Series last year. Wait, was it the other way around?
So no, it was the Xfinity Series last year where we faded him almost every week for weeks and weeks and weeks and made a ton of money, and then we flipped the script. I started making money on him at the end of the year. So, he holds a special place in my heart, Rod.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the Boji Joe still riding the mantra of fade Sawalich.
It's over, buddy. We're not fading him anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely come into his own. Maybe he's the Chase Briscoe of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, where he needed to realize how to drive equipment that was better than what he was in before. And now that he's gotten the hang of it, I think he's going to be a contender next year. I mean, look, he's in the right manufacturer. He's with the right owner. I mean, if you don't perform well in Joe Gibbs equipment, it's not long for you in the series that you're in.
Yeah, getting well, he has performed well until the Cup Series. Thank you. But okay, back to William Sawalich, Rod. Geez, this tide just taking strays over here. No, I'm very excited for William Sawalich coming into this year. I think that, again, we were fading, and Sawalich was the star. I faded him in every possible matchup I could for 2/3 of the season, we'll say. And it worked out really well. And then he started to figure it out, and things started to click for him, getting a second year, a second opportunity in this car, which is an elite car. I will stick to JGR cars are the best cars in the field. Getting another year to go out there and put together in this car, I think is great for him. And I'm excited. I'll be very, very interested to see where he falls in the odds board, because if they look back at last year, they're going to say, whatever. But if he's pretty far down there, I will absolutely be on William Sawalich to be the champion, Rod.
It is the last day of our week, Cody. I'm surprised that we are even still both speaking in complete sentences at this point. Boji Joe wants to know, hey, will the next Tel Cup Series playoff change the Nationwide Series playoffs? The answer to that is yes.
I do think that, yes. I think that, yes. I think you'll get all three series. You'll get the Camping World Truck Series. You get the Winston Cup. You get the Busch Series. They will all go back and be on whatever. I think they'll all be on the same platform, right? So if we're doing, which I guess is interesting, because the trucks in Xfinity, or probably was Nationwide at the time, I guess. It would have been Busch, I guess. I don't think they did the chase, right? I don't remember when they switched to playoffs, because they didn't do the initial chase. And it'll be interesting to see how they format that, because there's obviously a lot less truck races. Do they make it out a 6-race chase, assuming it's a chase format? I think that I think that all three series will be aligned in what the playoff or what the championship format is. And then they'll each have, much like they have already, right? It's been different sizes of races and entries into the playoffs for all three series. I think they'll be tailored to their specific schedule, but I do think that they all three will go through an overhaul of the championship format.
Tune in Monday. You will find out exactly what that is and what we think about it for sure. So, all right, Joe Gibbs Racing continues with the number 19, a brand new pilot in this one, full time. Obviously, we saw Eric Almirola pop into that one every once in a while. I think we even saw Christopher Bell jump in the 19 for a hot second last season. But Brent Cruz, the second coming, the anointed Toyota driver, is going to be taking over full time in that 19. Once he turns 18, by the way.
Yeah. He'll be full-time after a couple of races. So that's the problem. We've seen this before, is he's not old enough to be full-time at the beginning of the season. So he will miss Daytona. He'll miss Atlanta. He'll miss a couple of races. Looks like he turns 18 on the 30th of March. So I think like Phoenix, he'll be allowed to race because that's a shorter track where he'll be approved at that age. But unfortunate for him, especially depending on what the format is, right? If it's just you need to make the chase, then he'll probably be fine. If it's a full season points, obviously that would hurt his case. But I'm very, very excited. This is a very talented young kid. he's coming in. He's kind of the hot shoe. Could we see flashes of Connor Zilisch? I'm not saying that Cruz is going to be Zilisch. I think Zilisch is truly a one-of-one talent for what we've seen here lately. But I think Cruz could come in and have that type of ability where he doesn't need a year to warm up. I think he'll win races this year, multiple races in that 19 car. And I think he'll be a guy we're talking about like, oh shit, where's Toyota going to put him in the Cup Series in a couple of years? Because I think he's that talented.
Yeah, we all know that Toyota doesn't necessarily find you the next ride if you're good to them. Brett Cruz did run 10 races last year in the Craftsman Truck Series. He wound up getting 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, second place at the Roval, 4th place at Martinsville, sort of to tidy up the end of that season. He was in the one truck that will be occupied by the greatest driver in the entire world last year. But ARCA Menard Series, 4 wins in 2025 in the ARCA Menard Series, 3 wins in the ARCA Menard Series East, 2 wins in the ARCA Menard Series West. So yeah, just a talented young kid that's going to probably tear this series up for a little while and then hopefully move up and do great things in the Cup Series.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the 20 is still occupied by the same guy, Brandon Jones. He will not leave full-time again. How do you feel, Cody?
Love it. I love Brandon Jones. If you've been following the show for a while, he's a guy I love because he never gets any respect, and he's a really good race car driver. You're going to get a lot of opportunities to bet on him. He's going to win a race or two. He's going to show up. The championship format the change is likely going to hurt being able to put championship tickets on him. Loved being able to have championship tickets on him last year with Phoenix being the last race. A track like that, Homestead, I wouldn't like it so much anyways. If it's a full 10 or 8 races in the O'Reilly series, I don't know. If it's a 3-3-4, we might be talking about it. We'll see again. That's why we're waiting on the thing here. But I love Brandon Jones. I love betting on Brandon Jones. Great on super speedways. Really great at the big high speed 1.5 or 2 mile tracks like Kansas, Vegas, Michigan. You love him there. Places like Phoenix, places like Martinsville. He's got his set tracks that, okay, this is where you get in on Brandon Jones. This is where you bet him. It's not always reliable, right? He doesn't always produce, but he's a very good driver. And, yeah, I love him being back home at Joe Gibbs for another year.
Well, once he departed from JRM again to go back home to Gibbs, I feel like that was a change that was needed because he just wasn't getting the love at JRM, and he wasn't really, I don't want to say he wasn't earning the love at JRM, but I mean, when you got the big boys in the building, you really have to come through, and he just wasn't being able to do that.
JR doesn't have big boys in the building. Come on, Rod.
They don't, and right now they literally last year we were saying that was the weakest field for JRM that they had fielded in a long time.
It's stronger
right?
this year, so I'll give them that.
It is now
but
this,
it's
yes.
not the strongest they've had. Ever,
exactly.
Sure.
All right.
Also, Boji Joe wants to know if the 19 is the best Toyota car. It is not, Rod. And on part 2 of this, which will be Tuesday's show, we're going to take a break in between because Monday we'll have the reaction to the championship format change. But we will talk about the best Toyota car on Tuesday's part 2 of this episode. So you'll have to come back, Boji Joe, and we'll talk about it then.
We will talk about it then. But right now, we'll talk about the number 21 Richard Childress Racing Chevy that is occupied by one Austin
Hill. The terrorist Hill.
Okay, so listen, this is one of those instances where did he really show us his true colors and now we can honestly not like him? Or because we used to listen, there was a long time on the show.
Remember when we bet on him every single week? It was like we had a printing press for money sitting right here, and we would just bet him top 5 every single week, and it would be plus money, and he would just hit every single. This was 2024, just 2 years ago. Like, he made us so much money that year, and then last year he just turned into the biggest villain in the sport. I mean, who's more hated than Austin Hill is right now?
There are very few drivers out there that, I mean, other than maybe Denny Hamlin, but now that's not the case anymore. So maybe Austin Hill is 1,000% the most hated driver in the sport.
He's got to get on that R2 button and bring that villain rating back down in NASCAR Thunder there, Rod.
So then that begs the question, right? Is this the season that he does lay low, or is he too much of a proud driver to back down from where he's put himself?
He's just standing at the crossroads right now. Rehab the image on the left. Lean into being a villain on the right. Which way will he go, Rod?
There was a video game back in the day called Fable, and that's exactly what it was, right? So you would go through this storyline, and it would present you with 2 choices. One is the path toward evil. One is the path toward good. And anytime you could pick either one, you weren't tied to any. If you picked good, you didn't have to keep picking good. You could have like helped the old lady and then like kicked the goblin into the lake, like the very next choice you make. So like, I feel like that's where he's standing right now. He could help the old lady or he could kick the goblin and see where he goes. I just, I want him to pick the old lady so that I can like him again, because I didn't necessarily hate him all that much, but he did turn into a very, very just arrogant guy last year.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. I think it's going to depend on his attitude, how we end up, how the public, the NASCAR fan base feels about him, right? Does he come out with I'm trying to be a better guy, I'm trying to rehab my image, or does he just lean into full villain? And that's probably going to be the determination on how we feel. That being said, he's a guy you can always bet on because he's not respected to the level he is, right? He can win any given week, anywhere. And he's not often the favorite outside of a Daytona, Atlanta type of race where he's always going to be the favorite. But yeah, he's a guy we're going to bet on a lot. We're going to have a lot of top 5 bets on him. We're going to have a lot of head-to-head bets on him because he's a guy you really, truly can rely on to turn in good performances pretty much week in and week out.
Yeah. And again, it's just a matter of, can we separate the emotion from the betting as well? And Bodie Joe actually did know what I was talking about. Yeah, they had the evil good points that actually gave you a different experience no matter what and you could play that game 3 or 4 times and have a completely different experience. All right, let's close our time here with the Sam Hunt Racers of the number 24, who is now joining the Sam Hunt team for the first time, leaving the 25 car and going 1 car down. He's just moving 1 door over to the 24. It is Harrison Burton. Look, Harrison Burton came back down to the Xfinity series, the former Xfinity series, and made us kind of Harrison. We needed a new place to be and came out and did well. Playoff contender and just, overall just a good season in this 25 car last year. Hopefully he brings it down to the 24 and does good things again.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited for both of these drivers. I think that Sam Hunt is a team that's continuing to build itself. And we saw it last year with their other driver we'll talk about in a minute, Dean Thompson. He had a fantastic season. Now you go out and get what is a fairly big fish for a team like this in Harrison Burton. He comes back to the Toyota family where he was once a Joe Gibbs Racing driver back before he went into the Cup Series. And yeah, I think this is a huge get for them. Having him full-time is going to be exciting. We saw how he elevated that 25 team. I think he will similarly elevate the 24 team in the same way. So very much looking forward to this for Harrison. I think we'll have a lot of opportunities to bet on Harrison. If we get top 10s especially, because he was already that type of guy last year in the 25 car, he's still going to get the same level of respect, I think, in this car. So top 10s will be great. Top 5s even potentially a couple places. We know the places like the super speedways, just like his cousin, he can win those any given time. So yeah, really, really looking forward to Harrison Burton in this ride. And I think, this could be one of those rides that turns into something long-term for him. If it's not able to, I don't know that he's the type of guy that's going to get elevated back into the Cup Series. But he could really stick it out with a team like this and have a good long career. I could see that happening. So very excited about this pairing for Sam Hunt and Harrison Burton.
Yeah, and the 24 actually did some pretty good things last year with Ryan Truex, with Corey Heim. Actually, Corey Heim finished 8th at Bristol in this 24 car. Kaz Gralla took it to a 4th place finish at the Roval. So, again, it's a competitive car.
So another Toyota that Corey Heim could have driven full-time this year. Weird.
Well,
weird. It's so strange. They have a stranglehold on one of the best drivers that's up and coming, and they don't use him. Why do you...
I don't know. Cody. I don't have the answer to that. If I did, I would be a NASCAR executive and I'd be filthy stinking rich and we'd be doing this show live in Las Vegas every single day. But
just be careful of the text messages you send, Rod.
Yes, indeed.
Or you might not be a NASCAR executive. Oh, from the top rope.
All right. The stash is back, baby. Dean Thompson in the 26 this year. And just, so excited to see Dean Thompson back. Cody, you were all over some Dean Thompson last year, and I don't think that's slowing down at all.
I love the stash and love it even more now. Look, I think the team's getting stronger. Bringing Harrison Burton over there, having both these guys be full-time this year instead of just one full-time car, that's a step up. having Dean back for a second year, that's a step up. We saw him be really, really good last year. He's going to be in every week DFS play. He's going to have some opportunities for top 5 bets. I think there's going to be some opportunities to bet on him to be our next 80-1 Raja Caruth winner, Rod. So stay tuned for the 2026 season because the mustache is going to carry us to great places.
I have a feeling that we will be, riding that stash all over to some cashing tickets. Yeah, exciting times, especially like you said for Sam Hunt, just knowing that they've got 2 good, solid drivers in their garage that they can count on. And with Harrison Burton sort of taking young Dean Thompson under his wing, pretty excited about the future for Dean Thompson. All right, that's the first part of this. We're going to put the pin right there and call it good and pick up next week, with more. So come back Tuesday for more, but come back Monday because we're going to have the show on Monday, but Tuesday will be the conclusion of this Xfinity Series drivers. But Monday we'll have the new playoff format live reaction.
Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to next week's shows, Rod. It's going to be a lot of fun. Getting the playoff reveal, getting that an opportunity to talk about that, react to that on Monday is going to be a lot of fun. Part 2 of this is going to be a lot of fun. A pretty special episode for Wednesday for you next week as well. So really, really looking forward to next week. It's going to be another fun week, and we're going to be that much closer to race cars back on track.
Like 2 weeks, just a little over 2 weeks to race cars back on track. So I have a feeling that now that the format will come out, we'll start having odds coming out sooner rather than later. And then by the week after next, yep, that's what I'll say. The week after next is when you'll start seeing some picks.
Well, and really, we only have 6 shows left for the quote-unquote off-season. I mean, we've got next week's shows, and we have 3 shows the week of the 19th, and then it's race week. Like, it's Clash race week, and we'll be breaking down the Clash, making our picks, talking DFS. It's here, baby. We're here.
It's here. So guess what? 6 episodes of car histories loaded up for you, ready to go. And all right. Well, then,
did you know Jaguar drove 2 races in this number, Rod? It was really cool.
I actually did like that. I had a good time like digging into the history. Cool. I mean, whatever. What do we know? We're only the hosts of the damn school. We don't know much of anything. So, in fact, you ask our critics, we definitely don't know anything. But all right, Cody, let's send everybody on their way to enjoy their weekend and enjoy another week closer to race cars on the track.
Let's do it, Rod. Follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff over there. Tons of NFL stuff, college football content as we close out the season there. Lots and lots of other fun stuff. So check it out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, tell a friend, all the fun things. YouTube, check us out over there. We really appreciate getting those numbers up before the 500 comes. And, best of luck to everybody in all your football bets this weekend. Playoff football all around, college and pros. Oh, let's fucking go, baby.
Greatest time in sports other than February when the Daytona 500 comes around. But follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can find all the stuff that I am up to. But please don't at me during the game on Saturday because I will not reply. But I still love you anyways. I'll catch up with you after I watch the game on Sunday. All right. We'll see you guys next week for some exciting episodes of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. And until then, we are here, and we hope that you help us make NASCAR gambling fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.